Good morning. Hey, Daniel. Say hi to Harold. Oh, you're on top of things, Tristan. All righty. How's everybody doing today? Today is kind of like cleaning up after a party. Glad you're doing well. I've already been outside. It's beautiful out, slightly chilly, sunny. Going to be a good day. Hey, Nico. New Nick. Hope you guys can get out after some of your last lessons today. The weather, it's Memorial Day weekend this weekend. So, and we're allowed to get out of our houses. Okay. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm kind of saddened that this is the last broadcast. And don't be afraid. I don't care if it has anything to do with school or not. I won't be checking my email every single day, but I will be checking my email. I will be, posting videos. I'm going to be posting videos on my YouTube channel, so you can stay in touch that way. And of course, however the new school year is going to roll out, I will see you guys in the fall, one way or another. So that's cool, and I'm looking forward to that. If we were in school right now, we would be probably working on maybe even our second experiment with a different. Usually, what we do is we partner you up with somebody, do the experiment. It goes well, and then we partner you up with somebody else. You create the second time. You create the experiment, and a different group does it. That's really testing you, right? Kind of like that peanut butter and jelly video we posted where the kids make the instructions and dad does the experiment. That's really a challenge. And matter of fact, if you want to have fun, maybe it's not your idea of fun, do that where you write instructions. It doesn't even have to be science, where you would write instructions for somebody to do something, and try to be as explicit and detailed as possible, and then have a friend, family member, or whoever try to follow those instructions and see how well you did. I think that would be something going to help you in school. It's going to help you in language arts. It's going to help you in science. It even help you in social studies because it helps you communicate better. But you probably would get a lot of laughs out of it if you're going through that and you're watching somebody trying to follow your instructions and you forgot some steps. So it's quite often that we learn from, and we can learn in a fun way from doing silly stuff like that. So that's actually a lesson in science. Don't be afraid to do things like that aren't directly related to doing an experiment. Is doing that. For example, you could give somebody examples of, how to make a certain food, right? Phone number 8675309. It's a song, Nick. You're too young to know. Google it or YouTube it. 8675309. Oh, it would help if my cursor was on that, right? Oh, either you get this or you don't, usually. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, and thank you, Tristan. What's your question mark about? You never heard that song? Oh my gosh, Tommy Two Tone. That's right. Nick, you're on top of things. I knew Katana got it, of course. It's one of her favorite songs. And Tristan, I knew you got it too. So, all right, awesome. Fun melody in that song. But getting back to where boy, did I get. I'm trying to remember if I got your pictures, Ethaniel. I know I got all your paperwork. I don't know when you sent them. I haven't looked this morning. So I've been running around here. My new phone, I don't know if I told you guys on Tuesday that I smashed my phone on a rock and lost most of everything I had on it because it was completely non-functioning. I've never done that before. So I got a new phone and I'm having trouble with it. I don't like my new phone. But anyways, getting back to where our conversation was going, I don't know if I would call it how to make learning fun, but if you followed the kind of the process of what happened with that dad and his two kids making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and make it into a game, could you really make it into a game? Absolutely. It would probably be something that is really, really fun. You guys would probably laugh and laugh and laugh trying to follow somebody else's instructions, especially if it's about something silly. Have fun with it. What you're doing, you're writing out your lessons. And so you have fun with it, you laugh about it. And what do you do at the end? You learn from it because you learn how to get what's in here out onto your piece of paper or onto your computer. This is something, and this is me being brutally honest, this is something that I struggle with a lot as a teacher. I can talk, but it is sometimes really hard for me to get ideas and thoughts that I have in my head on paper to a point where I can explain them really well, whether I'm typing or writing. And you guys think because we're adults, we're all experts at it, and we're not. And sometimes over the years, I will assign things, and I know you guys have said, Mr. Suriani, I don't understand what you want me to do. That's because my instructions weren't right. I knew what you had to do. I wasn't specific enough in my instructions. So what I have gotten back, I can tell that you guys have gone over this and really looked at your set of instructions. And when I read them, I understood exactly what you were doing in the steps that you were doing. And that's beautiful. Doesn't always happen that way. And just remember, if you get this into me now, and I have a chance to look at it, and maybe there's a few minor things that are wrong. I'm not saying that the whole thing is wrong, but maybe there's a couple things that are wrong that we need to fix. Well, it'll be really easy for us to do that if we're in a situation where you got a whole week to do it. Grades are due next Friday. So that doesn't mean you can turn something in next Friday. I have to turn the grades in on Friday. So stuff needs to be done if you're going to get it in and get it. And I'm glad to hear that you're sending me stuff right now, Tristan, because then I can look through it. If there's any little, there I am. If there's any little changes that need to be made, they can, you can get those done. Well, there's Mr. Fosnight. And fix them so you can get 100 out of 100. And I appreciate your guys' efforts. I know it's really hard to do things from home. And some people, hey, Jeremiah, some people really came up with some cool experiments. Do your best to get that stuff into me. And I will look it over relatively quickly. I'd say probably at least within 24 hours or less, and have answers back to you. And I'm going to put my email address up here again, even though I did it in the beginning. And I want you to write it down. Okay, or put it in your phone or whatever you got to do. And don't forget that you can also, it's basically my first name dot my last name at summitacademies.org. So if you forgot it, you'd say, well, what the heck is Mr. Suriani's first name and last name? It's not, you're not going to put Tom, it's Thomas dot Suriani at. And real easy to remember. And you could do that really with any academies, right? Not academy. I have it listed up there, right? And you can do that with any teacher, like Thomas dot Fosnight at summitacademies.org. No, you don't have to do another project. Nope. You've got your project done. And I told people this last week, you get your project done, and you get it done early, and I reviewed it and everything. You start your summer vacation a little early with me, and I'm totally okay with that. And if you haven't got it done, well, you still got time to get it done. You don't have to do another one. Now, what I was talking about when you came in was doing something in a fun way, or making something fun out of something that generally is difficult. I can go through the list of people that are on here and think about the list of people that are in class. And I know that some of you, like I said, have the same difficulties that I have. You've got great ideas in your head, hard to get them down on a document or on paper. And so what I was suggesting is that you make something fun out of it. Something that you can, Nathaniel, is something that you could do with your mom or your grandma, where maybe you will want her to make a certain food, okay? And so you write the instructions out of how to make that food, but she's got to follow the instructions on the paper. And so if you do something wrong, it comes out wrong. Maybe it's instructions to find something in the house. Maybe it's instructions on how to make something. And so why am I suggesting you do that? Because it would probably end up being something that's funny, that you guys would be laughing about and enjoying each other and laughing about. And it's something that you'd learn from. That's what I was saying. And guess what? It's going to prepare you for August when you guys come back to school, and guess what we do in the beginning of the year? We get right back into these projects where we're doing scientific method, and scientific method got to be kind of drilled into your guy's head, so that you can go through life understanding how it works. Excuse me, as you go into the higher grades, you're going to continue to use it. I want you guys to know it. And so you come back next year, boom, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the scientific method, where you're going to figure out an experiment and ask a question and do background research, make a hypothesis, make a materials list, write your instructions. So yeah, it's going to benefit a lot of you guys to do that. It really will. Because like me, many of you struggle getting things on paper. As of right now, that's a good question, Nick. As of right now, yes, we are going to have school. It might be different. We don't know. It might be smaller class sizes to accommodate social distancing if we have to do it. We're really kind of all not knowing what it's really going to be like, but school is planning on going, as of this moment, planning on going on as normal. Of course, we don't know. Things are getting better right now, and they're starting to open up, but the fear is that the virus might come back. There might be a surge here or there somewhere. My guess is, Nick, that it's going to be more targeted. So if we live in the Akron-Canton, the Cleveland, Akron-Canton area, we're kind of interconnected. So if something happens in Columbus, it'll affect Columbus, but not us. If something happens in Chicago, it's going to affect Chicago, not us. And so there's a lot of what ifs. And either way, I think our district is trying to prepare for every possibility. Like, are we going to have to do some? Akron's not really as a big a hotspot as Cleveland is, and the big hotspot was New York City, and that area. I've got a friend in Brooklyn, New York, which is one of the boroughs, New York City. I was actually messaging him last night. We were talking, and in the 2.5 months since this started, he's only been in his apartment to go to the grocery store and get food. And it's pretty scary when you've got millions of people all bunched up together living in one location. I do think you're not going to catch it by going out and breathing in the air in your yard. You're going to catch it by person-to-person contact is the most likely. And so, yeah, we will have some sort of a school. We don't know yet. When this thing first came out, the information we were getting from China was very incorrect. And I don't know why they did what they did, but we were saying, oh, it's no problem. It's like it's about as common as the flu. And when it hit, we realized that it was similar to the flu, but much more contagious. That means it was much easier to catch than the flu was. And we're still learning, and we're still trying to come up with a virus. And this is where it's cool to see how scientists are just working night and day. They've come up with different versions of tests. There's the first test that they have. They basically stuck, and I have this to show you. but they have different ones in the doctor's office that are long. But they basically take a Q-tip and jam it way up a bigger one, and they jam it way up there in your nose to get a sample, and it gets sent to a lab, and it takes, because they're so busy, 1 to 2 days for it to come back. Now they have, and just in these few months, we've developed new tests. Now there's a 15-minute test. There's mobile lab in Akron where you can drive up and get a test if the doctor's ordered one for you. And so they're saying we might have a vaccine before the end of the year. There's things that they've been working on 20 years to get vaccines for. Some things they never, the common cold is a virus. Do we have a vaccine for the common cold? We don't. And we don't, the other thing is we don't know if this coronavirus might mutate some way and change. So even if we do get a vaccine, is it going to work? And so I appreciate the question and that insight, but we don't know. We just don't know. But there's so much cool science going on, and I know that sounds horrible when people are dying, but this is when people are under pressure. These doctors are trying hard to come up with solutions for the problem. They're trying to come up with treatments. They're doing clinical trials, and so they actually, if they're studying 200 people, 200 people get the medicine that they're trying to see is effective, and the other 200 people, 200 people, 100 of them will get the medicine. The other one will get a sugar pill that doesn't do anything for them. And so, unfortunately, when you're in a study like that, you may get it may be that pill that is working great, it really helps you and it heals you. But if you're the guy that got the sugar pill and it doesn't do anything, it might not. You might die. And the doctors don't even know who's getting what. And those are called blind studies, where they're giving somebody a prescription in a clinical setting, and so they're, like I said, half the people would get the actual medicine, other half would get what they call a placebo, which is not the medicine. It's just looks the same. It doesn't do anything. Just a sugar pill or whatever, or just nothing. And so then they compare the results. And so this science is going on constantly right now. There's studies all over the United States. There's studies all over the world. Doctors are just working overtime on this stuff. And it's, from a science standpoint, it's fascinating. From a human standpoint, of course, it's a tragedy because we're losing so many lives around the world. So it's pretty sad. But look at it from the science standpoint, and understand that if we can actually do this and get a cure in less than a year, like a vaccine, that's truly amazing. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that. Anyways, we don't know what our school year is going to be like. Only thing we can do is concentrate on getting our stuff done now, getting completed, always having an attitude that you want to learn something. Listen, I know you guys have that attitude for certain things. When you play a video game, you want to learn how to beat the game. And learn. You want to learn how to beat the game. You're always trying to learn at something, whatever it is in life. Just depends on what your priority is. So my suggestion was just something fun for you guys to do. And if you have something and you have a blast with it, share what you did, let somebody else do it. Maybe you're an inventor. Maybe you're an inventor. Maybe you can create a game and sell it to Hasbro or one of these other gaming companies, and you've created, maybe you'll be a millionaire before you're 18. Who knows? So anyways, Please, I will be looking for your stuff. Great. I'm glad I got it, Tristan. I've been waiting. I know some of you have struggled through this, and I don't want you to panic. Do not panic. Do not have an anxiety. We'll get you through this. Remember you can email me, or if you can get into Google Classroom, you could message me there. It actually will, if you message me there and I'm not on it, it will send an email notice to me. I think you need to finish that sentence. I'll wait, Jeremiah. Packets, if you have packets that you have completed, please get them into school so we can include that in our grades. You are, yep, I hear my little email. I will say this, Jeremiah, if you have access to a computer and can put it on a Google Doc, see a Google Doc, you can just share with me and you're done. If you write it on paper, then I don't know, what are you going to take it? Maybe you could take a picture of it and send it to me, but it's going to be really hard for me to read. I've had some people do that were having trouble with Google, and I get it. And there are small images on my computer, and maybe the writing isn't dark and the picture didn't catch it. And so I'm up here like a grandpa with my glasses on going, I'm trying to figure out what it says. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to, to help you guys out. And I've done that. She wrote hers on paper. If you do, try to make sure that it's ink and not pencil so that I could see it. And hers was fine. I did struggle a little bit. Matter of fact, my eyes are getting so bad, I have my kid help me read a couple of the words. And Katana, since you're on, I gave you a shout out the other day, but you videotaped yours and sent that to me in an email, your actual experiment. That was really cool. So yeah, Jeremiah, either way is fine, but if you have access to a computer, Google Doc would be the easiest for me to be able to see. And but whatever's easiest for you. I don't mind struggling to do something if it's easy, if it makes it easier for you. You do whatever's easiest for you, okay? I got to get off. Someone else has a broadcast. I love you guys. Have a wonderful summer. Hope to see some of you guys in the grocery store, in a park somewhere out there. You guys take care of yourselves. All righty. No haircuts, Tristan.